What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Paddy Pimblett explains huge weight gain after fights. It's no secret that in between fights, Paddy Pimblett packs on a bunch of weight. In the past, fighters have said that down the line, if the baddie keeps gaining a ton of weight between fights just to cut back down to 155, then sooner or later it might all catch up to him. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. From the sounds of things, the streaking Scouser isn't too worried about it, even though he can get up to around 195 to 200 pounds between fights. In an interview with Still Ryan, he chalked the whole situation up to an involuntary reaction from his body caused by cutting weight.
That's the thing with me, lad, from a fight. Like now, I'm just like back to my normal weight. I'm walking around about 88 kg, know what I mean? Where after a fight week, lad, I end up going up to like 95 or something, 93, where it's just where you've depleted your body, lad. It holds on to everything. Where if I've like put it in starvation mode for a week making weight, your body holds on to everything, lad. Know what I mean? So as soon as I have like salty stuff and that, it just holds the water onto me. So that's why like I look bloated and I look fat. It's just me, it's me cheeks.
So what you're telling to all the media that call you fat is you look fat and you're not fat?
It's just bloated. Know what I mean?
So all these people who put pictures up of you when you're just chilling on holiday and like, you know, you're just bloated. You're not actually fat, you're just bloated.
No, it's just because I go overboard, lad. I'll be honest.
Excessive weight cuts have long been a hot topic in MMA, but so far there's been more questions than answers. One championship has tried to regulate weight cutting by doing hydration tests to prevent fighters from cutting excessive amounts of weight. But so far, their model has not caught on, and there's still been no change to weight cutting regulations stateside. In the meantime, it doesn't look like all the weight cutting has caught up to the baddie, considering that he's gone 6-0 since joining the promotion. Now sitting at number 13 on the lightweight rankings, the expectation is that the baddie will get a big fight in the new year. Merab Dvalishvili is terrified of Umar Nurmagomedov. Heading into Merab Dvalishvili's Noche UFC fight with Sean O'Malley, there was tons of talk about the winner defending the title against Umar Nurmagomedov. Even though the machine was pretty open about the fact that he didn't think that Nurmagomedov's win over Corey Sandhagen warranted a crack at the belt, the whole thing seemed pretty cut and dry. Since winning the title, Dvalishvili has shot down a fight with Nurmagomedov, saying that he doesn't deserve the fight and he'd rather rematch Sean O'Malley or run things back with Peter Yan after his win over Davison Figueiredo this past weekend. Even though the champion has said that ultimately he'll fight whoever the UFC puts in front of him, Sugar Sean O'Malley thinks he's terrified of Nurmagomedov, and during the latest episode of Timbo Sugar Show, O'Malley weighed in on the situation.
Umar wants to fight Merab in January. Peter wants to fight Merab in March. I want to fight Merab in April. Merab is absolutely himself terrified of Umar. I think he will do that. He doesn't want to fight Umar. Now he's saying he wants to fight Peter. He wanted to fight me. I mean, it is what it is.
So far, no word yet on what Peter Yan's win in Macau this past weekend means for the bantamweight title picture. However, Dana White made it sound back in October like Umar was next in line, so we'll have to see how things shake out given that the champion doesn't seem to be interested in the fight. Conor McGregor faces another huge lawsuit. When it rains, it pours. And after being forced to pay hundreds of thousands to a woman in civil court, Conor McGregor is now dealing with another lawsuit, one that fight fans may be familiar with. Back in 2022, it came out that Artem Lobov was suing Conor McGregor for 5% of what the former champ made when he sold off a chunk of proper number 12 ownership. According to Belfast Live, the case is set to go to court in January, with McGregor facing a legal battle worth £7 million. McGregor also broke his silence on his recent lawsuit on social media this week, writing, "People want to hear from me. I needed time. I know I made mistakes. 6 years ago, I should have never responded to her outreaches. I should have shut the party down. I should never have stepped out on the woman I love the most in the world. That's all on me. As much as I regret it, everything that happened that night was consensual, and all the witnesses present swore to that under oath. I've instructed my legal team to appeal the decision. I can't go back and I will move forward. I am beyond grateful to my family, friends, and supporters all over the world who have stayed by my side. That's it, no more. Getting back to the gym, the fight game awaits." Despite that, McGregor's still dealing with the blowback of the jury's decision, with companies and brands severing ties with the former champ. On Monday's episode of the Timbo Sugar Show, the former bantamweight champion reacted to the situation after beefing with McGregor just a few months beforehand.
Yeah, 250. That sucks, dude. I was listening to this YouTube video this morning, and it was Conor talking about how you lose your what was the quote? Something about losing your mind in the pursuit of success or greatness. And he's like, once my kids have money, my mom has a mansion, it'll be worth losing my mind over, or something like that. And I was like, damn, he literally could say he's kind of lost his mind.
From the sounds of things, even though he's fresh off one court case and he's getting ready to go at it with Artem Lobov in court, McGregor has his sights set on returning to the octagon. Magomed Ankalaev calls out Alex Pereira for not accepting fight. While Alex Pereira is side questing over in Korea and figuring out how many body shots and leg kicks it takes to drop one of his fans, Magomed Ankalaev is starting to get annoyed with the light heavyweight champion. In an interview with TASS, Ankalaev has alleged that Alex Pereira has not agreed to a fight. However, he's still holding out hope that the two will throw down sometime in May. Pereira has not agreed to the fight, but sooner or later it'll happen. I think the fight can take place in May. After beating Khalil Roundtree, Pereira said that if it were up to him, he'd jump right back into the swing of things. But considering that he had some sponsorship obligations to fulfill first, he was initially targeting a return in March. Considering Dana White had said that Ankalaev is next in line for a crack at the belt, it sounds like it's only a matter of time before the fight gets booked. In the meantime, Jamal Hill is taking aim at Ankalaev, going off on the #1 contender in an interview with Inside Fighting. I want to knock Magomed out, just because to me, he's a and he talks like a and he acts like a I really don't with him much at all, so him. And I'd love nothing more to put his to sleep. Like, I mean, I'll even say things, and I'm not even talking to this weirdo, and then he's coming and try to take shots at me because he's so lame, and he sees that the fan base kind of has a thing for me, so he kind of tries to ride that wave. So far, no response yet from Ankalaev. However, given that he's next in line for a title shot and Sweet Dreams is getting ready to fight Yuri Prohaska in January, he's probably not paying much attention to all the talk from the former champ. UFC updates. With no UFC fights this weekend, fight fans are looking ahead to the UFC 310 card to kick off the month of December. In the meantime, we're back with some new UFC fight updates, starting with a pretty big update from Rafael Fiziev, who announced on social media that he agreed to a fight 2 weeks ago and is just waiting to hear back. It's been almost 2 weeks since I accepted the date and the opponent, still waiting to hear back. Can't wait to get back in the octagon, it's been too long. We've also got a light heavyweight fight between Ian Cutelaba and Ibo Aslan set for February 22nd. So far, it sounds like the card has not been totally finalized. However, the expectation is that it'll be held in Seattle, Washington. The Cutelaba Aslan fight will see the Hulk look to build on a split decision victory back in September, while Aslan will look to make it 3 straight fights in a row inside the octagon after earning a contract on last year's Dana White's Contender Series show. Last but not least, after seeing Peter Yan pick up a win this past weekend, Corey Sandhagen announced in a video for his YouTube channel that he wants to run things back with the former interim champ.
Congrats to Jan. Maybe we'll do it next. I don't really know what the division's going on. I haven't really heard too much. I was hoping to hear probably sometime next week about the direction that they're going to go in, because I know that they were waiting on this fight to play out. And yeah, congrats to Jan. I still want to get that one back. We'll see if it'll be next or not.
Leon Edwards reveals plan for UFC in 2025. Since losing the title to Belal Muhammad this summer, there's been no real word on when Leon Edwards will be back in action. While fight fans hope that there was a chance he'd be able to step in on short notice to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov for the interim title in December, it sounds like Rocky is focused on returning at 100% next year. In an interview with MyProtein, Edwards outlined his plan for 2025, saying that in an ideal world, he'd have the belt back by this time next year. My goal right now is to also get the belt back. I'd like to be champion again by the end of the year next year, around this time next year. So just putting steps in place. I haven't lost a fight now in like 9 years, so I was getting used to that feeling again. I feel like I hate losing more than I love winning. There's not much you can do now, just move on from that. You put it behind you. And for me, it's more about what's next and how do you get back to where you want to get to. My goal is to be 2-time world champion. So far, there's been no real word on what Edwards' path to the title might look like. However, if the former champ returns to action in March, when the UFC heads back to London, a fight for the title at the end of the year seems like a pretty realistic timeline. At the same time, however, the winner of December's Shavkat Rakhmonov-Ian Gary fight will probably call for a title fight against Belal Muhammad, which could complicate things. Rampage Jackson sends a warning to Jake Paul. Jake Paul has now landed himself in the crosshairs of one of the most terrifying MMA fighters of all time, Rampage Jackson. As the former champ prepares for a boxing match with Rashad Evans next year, Rampage has taken things a step further by firing off some verbal jabs at Jake Paul for his comments on Conor McGregor's recent lawsuit. In an appearance on the Ariel Helwani show, Rampage took aim at Paul. After I knock out Rashad, I'm coming for Jake Paul's neck because I see him trying to bully Conor McGregor. So I did a tweet, I'm waiting for him to tweet me back. He talking about he want to fight Conor McGregor in MMA and stuff like that. Conor McGregor going through some other false allegations and getting sued and like that. So I ain't playing around with Jake Paul. So Rashad Evans, he can get it first. And even though I'm 46, I think that I will have enough energy to beat the out of Rashad Evans, and Jake Paul can come in and get in the ring the same night. And I both up. In the meantime, Most Valuable Promotions has been going to bat for Paul on social media, releasing a statement refuting claims that the Paul Tyson boxing match was rigged. In a press release, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions, Nakisa Badarian, was quoted as saying, "This is not the first time Jake Paul has faced unfounded skepticism or outright disbelief as a professional athlete. And frankly, the claim that his bout must have been rigged is just the latest backhanded compliment to come his way. From day one in this sport, people have doubted his abilities." Despite that, there's been no word on whether Mike Tyson was paid more money to make it into the 5th round, with the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulations informing attorney Eric McGracken that even though they oversaw the fight, they don't regulate private agreements. Khamzat Chimaev reveals huge health concerns during a recent interview. Khamzat revealed that he is missing half of his thyroid, which is why his immunity is so low, causing him to get sick more often than a regular person. He said, "I get sick like everyone else. I train hard and I'm constantly grinding in the gym. And when you're always training like I do, whether you want it or not, your immunity drops. That's why always some fans come up to me, they don't think about whether he might have some infection, sick or not sick. He sees you, hugs you, shakes hands. And when your immunity is down, of course that infection spreads to you. Because of thyroid issues, half of mine they removed from me. That's a strong impact. The doctor said everything's normal now. Well, seems normal now." Khamzat also went on to say that doctors told him to not fight again before his match with Kamaru Usman. He said, "In each fight, sometimes everything goes well in camp. Sometimes something bad and you get sick. It's no secret to anyone, I got sick often. If you take all of them together, I've had 5 or 6 surgeries, I think 7 or 8 fractures. I've broken down many times. Doctor said, you won't fight anymore. And so far, I'm proving that I will. And before the Usman fight, I also didn't tell anyone. I'm not that kind of person who likes to talk about such things." Will this be a major cause for concern for the UFC if Khamzat does become champion one day? It is possible, considering that he would be headlining the top cards at the time. Robert Whittaker is scheduled for jaw surgery and is expecting to return in June 2025. Reports surfaced that Robert Whittaker will be undergoing jaw surgery for the injuries he sustained against Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 308. He's hoping to be fully recovered by April to get into fight camp and have a return fight around June. In his recent podcast, he revealed that he had his teeth removed that were broken from the fight already as well.
The fear of hurting my bottom teeth, of them moving, because they've always been crap.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to bite down on like an apple since I was 19, right?
That's crazy.
Like, they've always been bad, and
yeah,
I don't know. I should have dealt with them.
So you've just gotten rid of them now. They're just gone.
Yeah, they're just gone. Like, they just don't need them.
I assume at some stage.
Fun fact though, when they took them out, they found a massive cyst in my jaw.
What?
Because apparently, and they think that might have been where the infections were coming from for the teeth.
Jesus.
First time, so